Ladies and gentlemen, we're coming to the first of our telecast races from Canterbury on this sunny but windy Saturday in Sydney. Very rare a Saturday meeting on the popular little suburban track. And this is the Premier's Cup, formerly known as the Rose Hill Cup. It hasn't really been a champions race, although a couple of useful ones have won it, Ken. Tails, Hydrogen, Carana, Striking Force, Duo. You wouldn't mind any one of those?
I wouldn't mind if they were in here today. We might get a bit of odd something to beat Kessam. But as it is, I don't think they can beat Kessam. He's at 2-1 on, but that's probably his right price. Here are the prices. Kessam, 2's on a Mick Dittman mount, and I think it'll be another winner for Mick. 20-1 Tristique, 6-1 Yarra Bay, 14 Port Kingdom, 20 Hidden Rhythm, 16 Never True, 8 Paul Antic, 50 Our Magic Man, and 30 Agro Warrior. As they say, 2's on is better than big interest, but the risk is a little greater. Here's Johnny.
And we'll soon know, because the last couple are being boxed away. Agro Warrior, the last one to go up, and here's the starter, Bill Dale, coming over to dispatch the field. Never True is drawn down close to the inside. Paul Landick stands up nicely in the number 1 gate. Port Kingdom won the race last year. Stalls open, off and running, and slow to move the big mare Tristique, and Hidden Rhythm also dwelt at the start. Never True bounced out in front of Paul Landick and Port Kingdom, and Our Magic Man is being allowed to stride over towards the lead. Coming to the winning post the first time, and Our Magic Man on the outside is just shading Never True. They're 2 lengths in front of Port Kingdom, a length and a half to Yarra Bay on the outside of Paul Landick, and then Kessam. Agro Warrior's a bit deep going out of the straight, followed by Hidden Rhythm, and last after a slow start, Tristique. Our Magic Man, this plain-looking New Zealander, is lobbing along in front as they go out of the straight by 2.5 lengths on Never True. Nearly a length away on the fence, Port Kingdom pulling a bit, followed by Yarra Bay. Agro Warrior's rider allowing that horse to stride up closer to the lead, and then Paul Landick, followed by Kessam, Hidden Rhythm, and Tristique on the outside as last as they go to the back at a very leisurely speed. 1,100 metres out, and the leader, Our Magic Man, a length on Never True, a length to Agro Warrior. On the fence, Port Kingdom, followed by Yarra Bay, a length and a half to Kessam. A neck away on the fence, Paul Landick, and the last couple, Tristique and Hidden Rhythm, as they go down the riverside towards the 800 metres mark, and Our Magic Man in front by 3/4 of a length on Never True, and those 2 leaders get away from them as they come up the hill. Port Kingdom on the inside of Yarra Bay. Agro Warriors had a pretty hard run, a length and a half to Kessam, who's 5 lengths off the lead, followed by Paul Landick and Tristique about to take off, and 3 lengths away last, Hidden Rhythm, as they come up the hill towards the turn. 500 metres out, Our Magic Man is almost joined by Never True. Yarra Bay 3 deep as they come to the corner. Agro Warrior canted 4 wide, and then Port Kingdom, and Kessam is blocked for a run, but he's about to get into the clear as they turn the corner. Our Magic Man got away again at the 200 mark over Never True. Yarra Bay, Kessam taking a little while to wind up, but I reckon he's just about got him. Kessam is now smothering these leaders. Kessam on the outside hit the lead. Oh, he's a very good horse, and Kessam has raced away to beat Yarra Bay. Our Magic Man third, 4th Paul Landick, and then Tristique. Further back, Agro Warrior, followed by Never True. Hidden Rhythm, and Port Kingdom is last in the Premier's Cup. Ah, he's one heck of a horse, Kessam. Number 1, Kessam, Mick Dittman, is going to pay $1.50 and $1.20. Held up for a run, which meant that he didn't have a long time to get wound up, and he really didn't hit top gear until the very latter stages of the race, and he was motoring on the line. Number 1, Kessam, L. Dittman, $1.50 and $1.20. And the runner-up will be Yarra Bay. Number 3, it'll pay a place dividend of $1.60. And third will be number 8, Our Magic Man, a place dividend of $7.60. Where to now for Kessam? They've mapped out a very ambitious program for this former New Zealander, and you've seen a very good horse on Wide World of Sports.
Dividends for Sydney Race 4, the Tooheys Draft Premier's Cup over 1,900 metres. And the correct numbers were 1, 3 and 8. Kessam was first, paying $1.50 and $1.20. Yarra Bay was second, paying $1.60. And third, Our Magic Man, $7.60. And Kenny Callender's tip for Sydney Race 5 is number 7, Only Version. AFL, and there are 5 games.
Well, we come to the main one today, the Tooheys Peter Pan Stakes, a very good field of 3-year-olds, over 1,550. And Kenny, there'll be a few questions answered here shortly.
There sure will, John. They're moving into the barrier, so I'll go straight into these tote prices. Number 1, St Jude from Queensland, is at 4 to 1, getting out to 9 to 2. Number 2, Integra, is favourite on the tote, $3.70, close enough to 11 to 4. Imperial Magician is a 10 to 1 chance. He's been well backed in the ring. 7 to 1, Blazing Anchor, 50 Direco, 16 Bright Kite. Only Version has also been well backed in the ring. He's into about 3 to 1 on the tote now, and I think he can win. A little disappointing in the Warwick Stakes last week, but against his own age, I think he'll redeem himself and run a super race. Only Version's my tip. High Year is at 60 to 1. Power Base is at 25 to 1. Peacock and Lord Ravenna were scratched. Poetic Chant at 25 to 1. Mick Dittman's Mount Ragtime Cowboy, $7.90. That's close enough to 7 to 1. Kaleo Star 100s. Fire Oaks are scratching. We're waiting for about 2 to go in, and then Johnny Tapp to call the Peter Pan Stakes.
Yeah, that's right, Ken. I thought they were all in. There's a big tree over there partly blocking my view, and it's quite frustrating, and I think there might yet be another one out, namely Poetic Chant also to move up. Very sorry to hear that Only Version has gone through the barrier here. Those front gates sprang open, but Jim Cassidy was able to pull the horse up in a short distance, and Clerk of the Course has headed over now to round him up. Gay Waterhouse was injured on Thursday when thrown from a pony in Centennial Park in Sydney. Apparently it was a very heavy tumble. In fact, they thought her leg was broken initially. Fortunately, it was only severe bruising. But Gay, you're certain to be at home watching White World of Sports and or in a Sky Channel outlet, and we extend to you our best wishes for a very speedy recovery. And the horse you'll be watching very closely here, of course, is Ragtime Cowboy, trained by Dad. Now, Only Version back in the gates, and the starter, Bill Dale, onto his rostrum, about to release the field. Kaleo Star stands up well. Off and running in the Peter Pan, looked a pretty good start. Integra towards the outside was allowed to come out of the gate steadily, and Power Base and Only Version flew the start, headed straight away by Imperial Magician, and Blazing Anchor began well. Now crossing quickly St Jude looking for the lead, followed by High Year. Ragtime Cowboy is midfield when they get going, and then Bright Kite and Direco, followed by Integra getting onto the rail. Second last Poetic Chant and Kaleo Star back at the tail as they head to the riverside. 1100 out, St Jude steadied about a neck on Imperial Magician, who wants to go faster. High Year 3 deep. On the fence, Power Base on the inside of Only Version, and making a line of 3, Blazing Anchor. Ragtime Cowboy between horses, racing fiercely with the head up in the air, followed closely by Bright Kite. Integra between horses, and then Direco, and further back Poetic Chant and Kaleo Star last. At the 700 as they start the run up the hill, St Jude just led Imperial Magician. High Year makes a line of 3, followed by Direco taking off 4 wide. Then Power Base and Only Version getting a nice run behind the leaders from Blazing Anchor. Dittman about to let go on Ragtime Cowboy, followed by Integra, who's hard ridden now, and then Bright Kite, and further back Kaleo Star and Poetic Chant as they turn the corner into the straight. St Jude and Imperial Magician clear of High Year, followed by Power Base. Only Version not getting much room, and further out Integra into the clear now. He's starting to hit top gear. It's Imperial Magician and St Jude. They're fighting it out from Only Version. Imperial Magician, St Jude coming again. Only Version can't get to them. St Jude and Imperial Magician split the line. By golly, it's close. Imperial Magician may be a breath to St Jude. There's nothing in it. Inches away third, Only Version, and then Integra, who might have died on his run, followed by Power Base, Kaleo Star. High Year, Direco, Bright Kite, Ragtime Cowboy, Blazing Anchor, and Poetic Chant is last in a fantastic finish in the Peter Pan Stakes, and a very tricky one because these two horses are out of stride. Heads up, heads down. Imperial Magician, St Jude flatly refusing to surrender. Only Version flashing up, but just failing to grab the other two in a tremendous finish. By crikey. Malcolm Johnston on Imperial Magician, Brian York on St Jude. Heads up, heads down. You'll see Only Version bursting onto the scene here in a moment. He just hasn't reached the other two in time. Look at him coming now. Only Version. But Ken, it's you've just got to get the bob of the heads here. Which head has come down right on the line? Imperial maybe.
Yes, John, it's a very, very close finish. We'll pick it up again from this angle. That's St Jude on the rails. Malcolm Johnston on Imperial Magician outside him. And then Only Version, if he'd have got out in time, he'd have picked them up, both of them up easily. But they didn't go hard. Let's line up this finish. St Jude on the rails. Imperial Magician looks to get the drop there near the line. By golly, it is close. If anything, I agree with John, Imperial Magician, but there's nothing in it. Imperial Magician or St Jude, and no doubt Only Version has finished third, and he turned in a super run, Johnny.
Absolutely, Ken. It's just the bob of the heads, and anything can happen in a finish like this, but I always fancy the horse whose head is coming down. OK, we'll have the result coming through very shortly on Wide World of Sports.
Dallas TAB dividends. Race 5, the Tui's Peter Pan Stakes over 1,550 metres, has been run and won. And the correct numbers are 3, 1 and 7. First, Imperial Magician paid $10.30 and $2.90. Third, number 1, St Jude, $2.10. And third, Kenny Callender's tip, only version, paid $1.70. And Kenny's tip for Sydney Race 6 is number 5, Sobers.
Back to Canterbury. Race 6 is coming up, the Tui's Red Concord Stakes. Now, this is over the hurry-scurry course of 1,000 metres, and some of Australia's very fastest sprinters are engaged in the race. Horses like West Dancer, Sobers, who has amazing speed. Lek Dan is no slouch, and I'm told the country filly Miss Christie can also slip along a bit. Now, Ken, I can envisage about 4 leaders in the race, and horses like Dance Band and Old High Regard really motoring home in the last bit, but gee, what a speed test it'll be.
Yes, John, and I think Sobers will be right up there with them. As a matter of fact, he's my pick to lead, and he's certainly my pick to win. Let's look at the prices. Number 1, High Regard, is getting out in the market, almost out to 7 to 2, 4.30 at the moment, and it's blowing. Dance Band, a clear-cut favourite at 2 to 1, $3 even. 9 to 1 West Dancer, a little kiss has blown out a little since I set the board. She's now out to 9 to 2. Sobers is into 7 to 2. I like him. I think he'll win. I've had a winner and an unlucky second. This might be the next winner. Number 6, Lee K-Dan at 33 to 1. Power Force is a 50 to 1 chance. Number 8, Pagan Jesters at 25 to 1. Soap Opera Stars almost at 100 to 1, $97. And number 10, Miss Christie, has eased out a bit more now. Will make her 66 to 1. John, I tipped this one for Maxie Walker, but I do think it'll win. Sobers.
Good, Ken. Yes, it's his race, 1,000 metres. There's no doubt about that. He's not a sound horse from all reports. I think Paul Sutherland was quoted in the press this morning as saying that he's quite arthritic. So, you know, the things punters have got to put up with. It's hard enough to back a winner without worrying about arthritis. Anyway, in the green and gold hoops is Power Force, raced by Mr. Marty Doherty, who's had a great week. He won with the Bullfighter last Saturday, Rachel's Doll at Rosehill on Wednesday, and Mephistopheles at Hawkesbury on Thursday. And I doubt if Power Force can win this race, but Marty should be more than satisfied. This horse here is Soap Opera Star. Nice little mare, ridden by Kevin Moses, trained by Ian McPherson, and she too has a lot of speed, but she might be out of her depth here. Now, the last 3 or 4 have moved up quickly. Soap Opera Star goes into the stalls, and they look to be just about right. Power Force in the gates, facing up well with Pagan Jest and Miss Christie. Stalls open off in the Concord. Power Force and Soap Opera Star dwelt at the start. West Dancer began brilliantly and bounded out in front of Lek Dan, Pagan Jest, and there goes Sobers. Sobers on the outside, exploding to the lead at the end of 200 metres. West Dancer second, in third place Pagan Jest, followed by Lek Dan, Miss Christie, Dance Band about 5 off the lead. High Regard being scrubbed along by Dittman, and then Power Force and Soap Opera Star with a little kiss last of all. Up the hill, and they're flying in front. Sobers about a neck on Pagan Jest, a length away. West Dancer, then Lek Dan, Dance Band a bit wide on the turn. Power Force between horses. High Regard flat to the boards from a little kiss, and then Soap Opera Star and Miss Christie last as they turn, where Sobers is clear. Pagan Jest coming after him. West Dancer getting a rails run. High Regard behind them with Lek Dan. Sobers still in front. West Dancer and Pagan Jest can't quite get to him. Sobers is still in front. West Dancer about to burst through on the rail. West Dancer is coming home the better. They hit the line. There's little in it. West Dancer possibly a breath to Sobers, but there's nothing in it right on the line between the stablemates. Pagan Jest close up, followed by Lek Dan, High Regard, then Power Force, a little kiss, Dance Band, Miss Christie and Soap Opera Star pulled up with the tail enders. Another desperately close one. West Dancer is showing $9.50 and $2.50. Sobers is showing $3.80 and $1.60. And which one third? Pagan Jest, I think, has run third, hasn't she? And Pagan Jest, number 8, a place dividend of $4.80. Well, Ken, another cigarette paper job.
Yes, John, I'm frightened. He's got Gary Sobers has got bowled out in the last over, but We'll have a look at the replay. You never know. It's very close. West Dancer on the inside. Sobers, as John said, he suffers from rheumatism. He's got rheumatism in every bone in his body, and he just hung out off the fence in the straight. That left the run for West Dancer. Pagan Jest couldn't pick them up, and it was too short these days for High Regard. That's Sobers in front in the blue and white. That's his stablemate over on the inside, West Dancer in the grey. And West Dancer's got the cash. It's official, 3, 5 and 8. West Dancer first, Sobers second, and Pagan Jest third. John, I didn't like those last few metres.
Bad luck, Ken. I think you can put that one down to arthritis. If poor old Sobers was just a little sounder and wasn't feeling the joints, he mightn't have shifted his ground, and it certainly cost him the race. There's no doubt about it. Anyway, you know what the man said. That's racing, brother. 1 to go. The Tui's 2.2 light handicap at 4.15 on Wide World of Sports.
Tui's Red Concord over 1,000 metres. The correct numbers are 3, 5 and 8. West Dancer paid $9.50 and $2.50. Second, Kenny Calendar's tip, Sobers at $1.60. And third, number 8, Pagan Jest, $4.80. And Kenny's tip in race 7 is number 1, Mocha, with the jockey Jim Cassidy. Let's check though Johnny Tapp for his call of race 7.
Tim Sheridan, my boy, I thank you. And this is the last of our telecast races. There's an interesting riding engagement here, a country horse called Fantasy Prince, which is usually ridden by one of the lady jockeys, Ms. Sue Kellerman, who rides very gently and tries to coax the best out of Fantasy Prince without too much force. Today, Mick Dittman is the rider, and Mick, as you know, is affectionately called the Enforcer. Now, Ken, one of two things will happen here when Mick gets busy. This horse will either grow a leg or fall in a heap with shock.
Yes, John. Well, it's favourite on the tote, and it is favourite in the betting ring, but only just. Let's have a look at the prices. Number 1, Mocker. I've tipped Mocker. He'll need a bit of luck. Bookies are a bit more generous than the tote. The tote showing $4.60. If you were the same price as the bookies, it might be showing about $7. Campania is 11 to 2. Royal Allegiance, he's been the best back runner. Still about 7s on the tote, but he'll come in 2 or 3 points yet. Number 4, Mere at 40 to 1. Glenhaven Boy at 15 to 1. Gold Charade at 20s. 16 taken as red. 25 Fear Faloo. $3.30 Fantasy Prince, the horse John spoke of. Just better than 9 to 4. 25 Great Hunter. 14 Posilipo. 16 Watt Magic. Then the roughies, 200 Bar Harbour, 100 Kildare, 100 Disco Lass. I'm on Mocker. The starter's about to get on his stand. Here's Johnny Tapp.
Righto, Ken, and let's hope that Mocker can make it 2 straight for you. He finished brilliantly to win at Rose Hill. Starter has the button, and they're about to break in race 7. The line looks good. Go at any second. Great Hunter stands well, so does Fear Faloo. Campania made a dive at the front of the gate. Fear Faloo very restless in the stall. Mare on the extreme outside. Sounds like a butcher's picnic over there at the starting point. Fantasy Prince made a dive at the front of the gate. Steadies again. Gates open, off and running. Campania jumped away smartly, wide out. Glenhaven Boy quickly into stride with Gull Charade, and Fear Faloo bustled hard by Johnson, is spearing through to join those leaders. What Magic on the fence, close handy. At the head of the others, Posilipo, and then taken as red, and Fantasy Prince a bit deep and can't get in at the moment. Royal Allegiance midfield on the fence, pulling a bit in the early stages. At the head of the others, Disco Lass, followed by Great Interest, and well back as Mocker, and the last couple of Bar Harbour and Kildare. Past the 800 metres mark, and Mare on the outside has raced up to go to the lead over Fear Faloo. Gull Charade third. Campania fourth, followed by What Magic. Glenhaven Boy obliged to race 3 deep up the hill. A length to Posilipo, and then Fantasy Prince and Royal Allegiance taken as red. Mocker well back as they come to the turn, followed by Disco Lass. A mile back, Bar Harbour with Great Interest, and Kildare is lugging badly at the tail of the field. Into the straight, Mare, a clear-cut leader over Gull Charade, closing fast. 2 lengths away, Fear Faloo, followed by What Magic, and then Campania, Royal Allegiance and Posilipo at the 200 mark, and Gull Charade is coming at Mare. His little Campania, and Mocker down the extreme outside is coming home like Burnborough. Can he get up in time? Yes, he will. He sprouted wings, Mocker, and got up to win from Campania second, Royal Allegiance third, then Mare, What Magic, Fantasy Prince, followed by Gull Charade, taken as red. Well back, Kildare, Posilipo, Great Interest, Fear Faloo, Bar Harbour, and Glenhaven Boy and Disco Lass amongst the last to finish. Well, this horse has come home like Burnborough at his last 2 runs, Mocker. And it didn't look possible for him to pick up those leaders, but he finished with an amazing burst, as he did at Rose Hill. And he's obviously improved a lot. Number 1, Mocha, $4.70 and $2. Number 2, Campania second, a place dividend of $2.20. And Royal Allegiance, number 3, a place dividend of $2.40. Ken, you're a freak.
Johnny boy, he's always been a good horse, but he has to be ridden right. He has to be ridden quiet, and Jay Cassidy's got the patience to do it. Look at him go. If you back him, never expect him to be near the lead because he won't show as much, but he can sure rattle home. And I can tell you I needed him to do just that today. God bless you, Mocha. That'll do me, Johnny.
Good on you, Ken, and it's great to see the colour coming back into your face after that frightful experience with Sobers in the previous race. You make sure you don't stay Sobers. You've just backed a winner. Okay, no numbers up, but it'll be 1 Mocha, 2 Campania, and number 3 Royal Allegiance after the Tui's 2.2 light handicap. If you've enjoyed today's thoroughbred action, well, that's only a sample of what you're going to get between now and the long weekend in October, with a heap of champagne racing coming your way on Wide World of Sports.
The results and the New South Wales TAB dividends. The correct numbers 1, 2 and 3. Number 1 Mocha, $4.70 and $2. Well done, Kenny Callender. Number 2, Campania at $2.20. Number 3, Royal Allegiance at $2.40. In AFL, we're into the final quarter.
It was JJ Liston Stakes Day at Sandown this afternoon, with some of the country's best horses returning from spells. Melbourne Cup winner Torrific was the top weight in the Liston, and there was a late plunge on South Australian Kirkside. Let's have a look at the closing stages of the $150,000 event.
And here's Citizen starting to wind up down the outside, and from a mile back, Go-Pack. It's Kirkside getting to the front with 150 to go. Citizen on the outside starting to wear him down. Kirkside the leader, Citizen stride by stride, ranges up on the outside. He takes the lead, Citizen, and a magnificent performance by Citizen, first up to win the Liston. A length to Kirkside, third home Benbara King, and better loosen up.
Yes, Citizen keeping his unbeaten record at Sandown intact, even though he last raced 4 months ago. Now let's check the doubles and quaddies from Sandown, and the extra double on 3 and 13 paid a handy $81.75. The daily double returned $24.55 on 2 and 8. The quadrella on 6, 2, 2 and 8 paid $2,101.95. And the quad extra for the combination 2, 2, 8 and 6 paid $904.85. Spaniard Jose Maria.
Trainer Bob Hoysted's dream of a Melbourne Cup win came one step closer to reality at Sandown today when Citizen coasted to a first-up win in the Liston Stakes. And Blue Diamond winner Mahazen returned to racing victorious, as did Gary Willits, who rode his first winner since a bad fall last May. First on the program, won by record month at 15 to 1, pulling clear in the last bit to beat Venadoo and Miss Norley. The second was won by Stavridale. This eased remarkably from 9 to 2 out to 9 to 1, but scored well. The Blue Diamond winner returned in race 3.
Claire's Girl led at the 200 from High Chicago, the marginal length. Mahazen is pushing through, Something Wicked closing. Claire's Girl in front of Mahazen. Mahazen going home the better. The Blue Diamond winner goes to Claire's Girl, and Mahazen first up wins from Claire's Girl. Something Wicked out wide has grabbed third.
Mahazen was 7 to 2 out to 13 to 2, scoring well, but Claire's Girl, the second horse, a big run. Gary Willits was on Marvellous.
Akula broke away at the 200, led 2 lengths now to Mudgee Grey. Marvellous is coming home well. Akula folding up on the West Aussie, took the lead. Marvellous now in the centre. He drove away from Mudgee Grey, and Marvellous will win it by about a long neck. Mudgee Grey tight for third. Akula on the inside.
He was unknown in the wet, consequently started at 12 to 1, but scored well. Now the Liston.
Then Double Gin and Kirkside closing rapidly. Benbara King's under the whip. Citizen is making ground. Kirkside went to wide at the 200. Citizen 2 behind them, finishing well. Kirkside the leader. Citizen starting to flash home. Kirkside a half to Citizen. Charges up Citizen, puts his nose in front. Mighty first up win. Citizen 3/4 Kirkside. Benbara King came again to get...
And well ridden by Neville Wilson. Citizen unbeaten in 4 runs at Sandown, again sprinting well first up. Natural Wonder again goes well at Sandown. 3 out of 4 at the track for her, remarkably starting at 10 to 1. The sprint, race 7.
Gay Paris going up to Disputed Pearl. Deer weakening in the middle, and the Rare Chance is flashing home. Disputed Pearl in front of So Gay Paris, and now Rare Chance eating up the ground. Disputed Pearl in front. Rare Chance is coming at it. Disputed Pearl over on the inside in front, and Disputed Pearl wins it by 3/4 Rare Chance. Now, Deep Darkness out wide has probably run third.
And Disputed Pearl too fast for them, winning at 7 to 1 over Rare Chance, a good run, and Deep Darkness third at 25 to 1. And Lenny Maund steered Tempt Me Not home in the last, starting at 5 to 2 and favourite over High Waters and Fredemus. Now the daily double, 2 and 8 paid $24.55. Extra for 3 and 13, $81.75. Quadrata, 6 double 2 8, $2,101.95. And the quad extra for double 2 8 and 6, $904.85. And that's the end.